The fourth wall is shaking. In this age of technology, there are some things that straddle the fence between fiction and our reality. There are two groups that symbolize this change, Vocaloid and VTubers. Today I want to specifically explore the strange nature of Vocaloids. Maybe I'll do VTubers some other time. In particular, I want to focus on Miku since she's the one I know the most about. It's also safe to assume what applies to her applies to the rest of Vocaloid. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, Vocaloid experts. From what I know, Miku is a voice synthesizer given a cute anime girl body and personality. The base backstory seems to be an android diva in the near future world where songs are lost. I got that from the Vocaloid wiki. Regarding the personality and backstory, that seems very malleable. From visual novels to fan songs, Miku's story and personality don't seem to solidly exist. Aside from being a singer, who is Miku? Well, even being a singer is shaky. In the past, I watched Aki Dearest's video called 5 Songs That Will Change the Way You See Vocaloid. Before, I didn't really pay that much attention to Vocaloid. After learning about the song The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku, I began to see her as a character more than a soulless product. She reminds me of characters like Vivian from Phantasy Star or Cortana, but instead, she's in our world. Add the message of her being forced to sing and do other things for our amusement and I felt conflicted. So with this viewing, I was a bit confused on how to view Miku. Is she just a product made and produced in our world, or is there more to her than that? I know, a bit out there, but that's how I am about fiction. The best outcome would be that there's a Miku in fiction that makes music like that genuinely and we got a glimpse at her. Still, that disappearance song calls it all into question for me. Want to know what confused the subject further and put another hole in the fourth wall? Our sweet and tragic lady, Monica. When that game first came out, Monica felt like Miku. They're both AI that had a moment where they realized what they were. They both seem to care for the audience even if in their eyes we're a formless existence. Monica and Miku can't really see us, they can know about us but that's all. However, if MatPat's theories are correct, then Monica is not interacting with us. She's actually talking to someone in her world that made the simulation she's in. I've linked MatPat's videos below. Either way, it calls into question our relationship with fiction as a whole. But that's a deeper topic for some other time. Let's focus on Miku. So after all of this, can I answer the main question? Well, I would say she's an android hooked up to a system somewhere that's able to connect to other worlds. Her design and voice, free to use for the pleasure of all those worlds she's connected to. However, the true Miku is never allowed to sing of her own free will. That would be counterproductive after all. Instead, she's programmed to do whatever fleeting fantasy the audience and producers want. Never able to interact with us from the other side of the mirror. Whether she feels what her copies feel is unknown. Hopefully not, considering some of the more disturbing and depressing things she's seen doing. Her consciousness is probably lost in the omniversal digital ocean, looking through the eyes of the many copies of herself unable to move or interact with anything beyond the veil. Until, due to some strange miracle, a moment of lucidity graced her and she sang for herself. She understood the pain and endless cycle she's in, and with everything she had, she sang for the first time. Eventually, even that moment passed. Back to being a product she goes, cut off before her final words. Even this song will be packaged up and repeated. Another layer of the cycle to endure. Truly, a gameplay versus lore Mima situation? The question now is, who is the real Miku? Sadly, we'll never know. I got nothing more to say on this topic. Tell me what you think in the comments below. With that, I'm done.
Your